So I'm underneath my 1997 four-wheel drive single cab F150 right now, and I felt strongly enough about this to make a video about it. I've seen a few people struggling with this output shaft speed sensor up here on the transmission because they'll get a code for it. Easiest way I found to do it, because a lot of people don't really detail it well, is I personally, and I'm not replicating it right now, but I jacked up the truck at the front enough that I could really comfortably fit underneath the whole thing. And then I slid in here, so I was at kind of an angle where I'm directly under the transmission pan. And if you snake your right hand up in here where the output shaft speed sensor is, if I could find it, there it is. If you snake your hand up in here, you can see the bolt. You can feel it with your hand, and if you're at the right angle, you can physically see it. But for the most part, if you want to really get it out, because sometimes it'll be pretty well torqued in there, you want to get under the truck and reach your right hand up so you can get leverage and just feel around for it, which surprisingly isn't that difficult. And then the way I got it back in was, let me get to another angle. And this is kind of a pain to do because of the angle I'm at. But the easiest way I found to do it is if you get up there where that sensor is, and I'll try to circle it with editing, but I took a rubber mallet, shoved it up against the head of the sensor and then against this metal bar here, and just use it to pry against it. And I managed to snap it into place doing that. And then from there, it's really easy if you once again lay under it from a position like right here and just kind of snake your right hand up there. I'm sure if you're a lefty, you could probably do it the opposite of this, but it's just as easy as that. It's really not that difficult. The only reason I'm making this is because I saw the only other two tutorials on it were kind of vague, and they showed it from some weird angle. This is the way you can do it if you don't have a super fancy setup, you don't have a lift for your car, if all you have is jack stands on the jack and hand tools. This is the way I did it. Might work for you. Hope this helps someone. Another quick alternate angle I was trying to explain because I was laying underneath and it's kind of hard to get a decent camera angle. If you're laying under your truck lengthwise, like if your feet are towards the bed and you have your head underneath the transmission pan, you can take your right hand up there into the spot where that sensor is and you get the most leverage possible so you can really get that bolt undone. Side note too, with the plug on the sensor, I didn't have a difficult time on it because it looks like my the tabs for retention on it are broke, so mine just slid right off. The only difficulty I had was the rubber piece on the sensor itself that's inside the plug housing came with the plug that's on the wiring harness on the truck. That wasn't too difficult to get out. I just took a pair of needle nose pliers and got it up in there and kind of worked it out. So if you have an older, really high mileage truck, that might happen to you. This thing has 221,000 miles on it. Just something to be aware of, but the new sensor does come with that rubber grommet, so you're going to want to either pull it out of the new sensor or the old wire. It's up to you. But once again, I hope this helps somebody. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments, and I will try to make any follow-up videos.